Good morning everybody and welcome to this week's edition of the RDA Central West Business Leaders Breakfast, and I'm really excited that you're able to join us. Today I'm sitting down with the Mayor of Bathurst Regional Council, Bourke. Bobby, welcome to breakfast.
Well, good morning, Sam.
Fantastic to have you here and thanks for making yourself available. Bobby, you're the Mayor of Bathurst Regional Council, and just before we kicked off this morning you were saying it's been a challenging year. But for those that don't know you as Mayor, can you tell us a little bit about your journey and what led you to local government?
Well, what led me to local government, I had 18 years on the rail, and and I've been in a union and sort of thing down there, and there was always issues there, and then I was doing a lot of community work from probably the early age of 18 out in the community. And then, as I got older, I started whinging about, more parks or the road, the potholes, and I was like a normal person whinging in the community. And then I just thought, oh, well, just either put up or shut up and get on with the job, go down to council and try and do something. And, I was pushed by the community to get in there and open that door a little bit quicker. That's what can happen if you're a councillor. They listen to you a bit more. Yeah, absolutely. And you were first elected onto council, I think, in 2004, but you've been mayor for the last 12 months or so. What's been the biggest change for you going from being a councillor to being mayor? From being a councillor to the mayor is more communication within the community, getting the right message out there. As a councillor, you can be a bit of a, just talk freely. As the mayor, you've got to work with the general manager and the directors and make sure that if that message is getting out there, it's the correct and the right message. So it's been a big learning curve on being a bit more tolerant and a bit more patient. Yeah, it's been a challenging 12 to 18 months for the region. We talked about this earlier with the bushfires and the drought and now COVID. What's been one of the hardest things about being mayor during this time, do you think? Just keeping Bathurst and the staff. Look, we have over 460 staff. It's keeping them in a job. Now, we've kept them in a job. We've kept our workplace safe from COVID-19. And then we want to just stimulate the community and be on board with them through this journey. And I think we've done a pretty good job at that. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. It's been a challenging period for the region, and retaining staff, retaining jobs locally is absolutely important. What's been one of your proudest achievements that you've to date with your career in local government? Oh, look, just seeing Bathurst grow. Like for 17, 18 years, I thought it was growing then, but we're expanding pretty well out here in our region, and Bathurst is a big part of that region, and we seem to just promote Bathurst the best way we can, try and be a friendly sort of a town, and entice people to come back. They know Bathurst as Mount Panorama and whatever, but we've got a lot more here, and we try and showcase that out. Yeah, absolutely. And talking about Mount Panorama, Bobby, you've had a long history involved in a lot of important community groups and fundraising campaigns. One that I found out about during my research this week was about a campaign you ran a few years ago about neckties around Mount Panorama. Yeah, can you tell us about that? Yeah, that was back in around 2008, I think, we wanted to set a Guinness Book of World Records, but what it come about was, it was the local prostate group wanted a speaker at their meeting, and I put my hand up for that and went and spoke to them, and they weren't looking for money. They just wanted to get the message out there. And I had a fellow councillor North with me, not at that meeting, but we got our heads together as councillors and said, well, why don't we do a campaign of the most ties around Mount Panorama? And we got 3,600 ties knotted together and went two times around Mount Panorama and set a Guinness Book of World Records, and it was called Get Knotted. And that really got out there into the media. It got on the Sydney media, got everywhere. So the message about prostate and men's health was a good way of getting it out there. And look, we had fun doing it and set a world record on doing that. And I think you raised over $100,000 for a great cause as well, so that's another bonus. We did, and I've done bushfire appeals, over $100,000 went to Toowoomba when they had their floods. So I've been involved, and I feel sorry for some of these other communities where we're a thriving community. I like to give a bit back to other struggling communities if I can, and I did that as a councillor, and if I can do it as a mayor, I'll continue to do it.
What's one of the most rewarding aspects of volunteering and being involved in the community like that?
Look, it's just the smile on someone's face, or all that tear, when they've got a tear coming down their eye, they're fair dinkum, and it's dealing with people that are fair dinkum. You can tell they appreciate what you're doing, and that's enough for me as a councillor.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that you've also been involved in, I believe, is the local community op shop in Bathurst.
Yep.
Now, I know that you've had a long history there, but can you tell us a bit about that and why it's such an important resource for the community?
Yeah, so around about 2008, the Royal Far West was looking for somewhere to set up shop. They had a lot of op shops around, in major places like Wollongong and Port Macquarie, and they were raising up to $20,000 a year for these operational things. And here, all we were doing was a pub raffle for the Royal Far West. And the committee said, can you find a building? Well, I found a derelict building that was going to be demolished on the floodplain there. Got the community behind doing it up, and then the Far West took on a lease for 4 years. But, it was a hell of a 4 years, because we had break-ins and thefts, it was pretty open down there. So they moved on. They didn't renew the lease. And then, as a community, I made a community op shop, and, all that continued, It got burnt down about 3 years ago. We had to start again, and that was very disappointing. But I continued to get up and go again, and it's great. We have a food van twice a week there to feed the homeless. We have a community garden. What else do we have? Community garden, the food van, and we help out the Women's Refuge. I set up a men's refuge with the Aboriginal Land Council now run. It's called the Barracks, and we had up to 7 or 8 people could stay there, no charges sometimes. Everything was supplied by the op shop, so it's a one-stop shop. People can get a haircut down there. We pay for a haircut. They go to the barbers, or they could do their washing there and have a shower there, because homelessness hasn't not gone away. It's still in our society, and will be here for a long time. So you need to look after those people.
Yeah, absolutely. So where is the op shop based in Bathurst at the moment, for those that want to know where it is?
Well, those that want to know where it is, it's down near the skate park as you come in from the Sydney Road, or off where the new bridge, and in between the new bridge and the old bridge. Yeah. It's on River Road. So it's easy to find, and we have a return and earn there now. It's very busy down there at return and earn. So it's a one-stop shop for doing something within your community. Yeah,
look, we'll put the link up to the op shop on this chat after this morning, if you're wanting to know some more information. You told me an interesting story about a local MP supporting, I think, the op shop and giving a gentleman a haircut. But can you tell us a little bit more about why a simple gesture like that means so much for some of your, I don't want to call them clients, but some of the people that come into the community op shop down there?
Yeah, we had a certain gentleman in town that was homeless, well known to the police. He probably hadn't had a wash or a shave for weeks and weeks. I had the local member in Paul Toole down there looking at my food van operations, how we operated. And I said, people like this come in here. And he said, well, if someone comes in there, I'll give them a haircut. I'll pay for a haircut. And I said, that'd be good, because I let them wash here and I let them shower here. And when you give someone a haircut like that and they get shaved up, they are a different person. And that made this person a different, to the normal bloke in the street. You wouldn't be confronted by him. So it was a good gesture. It was just out of the blue that we did it. But it does make a difference to someone's appearance if they are clean and washed and do have a haircut.
Yeah, it builds their confidence, I guess,
It builds their confidence up. This guy is out there now. He's in a unit of his own now through one of the local organisations. I gave him TVs, I gave him a lounge. I showed him there's people out there that will help you, but you've got to help yourself too, and you've got to keep clean and tidy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic story. But look, we're going to change pace now and hit Bobby, our special guest, with the Fast Five. Bobby, what's the best local event or festival, in your opinion, in Bathurst or in the council area?
Probably the 2015 Winter Festival, and it continues to be a great event.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've got the Ferris wheel out the front there, and I saw last year, maybe not this year, but last year I saw some really excited kids in the school holidays drawing on the pavement with some chalk and doing hopscotch and stuff like that, and it was top shelf.
2015 was our centenary year, and that's one of the best things that come out of it, and it continues to be a great event. Even through COVID-19 we did different things, and it's one of the best events that's been organised probably here in Bathurst.
Yeah, fantastic. Hidden talent or hobby?
Hidden tally is fishing. I love fishing, and I do love talking to people.
Yep. So fishing. Tell us your best catch story. Was it the big one that got away?
The big ones that got away, up to 4 or 5 kilo fish. They break your line, and I won't tell you where I go fishing, but that's a fisherman's secret. But I love the little trouts, the trout creeks.
Yep.
They're the best. You sneak up on you got to sneak up on them. Don't let them know you're coming.
And just on a complete side note, I saw you were making an announcement that some of the local waterways were restocked with some trout recently.
Yes, Paul Toole and I went out there and released up to 100 odd trout into Chifley Dam, and were they good? I tried to put one up my jacket and take it home, but saved me catching it. But no, I knew where I released them, but I haven't been out there to try and get them back yet.
Well, maybe that's one for this weekend. Hidden gem of the Central West. So this could be a person, a place, a venue, or an event.
I think Bathurst has got a lot of hidden gems, but one of them would be Hill End. Okay. A lot of history behind it. People hear of Hill End and the gold mining, but it's stuck out there, and it's an ideal spot to visit.
Absolutely. Well, we'll put the link up to Hill End and showcase, I guess it's another one of the little sides of the regional council area that we can showcase. Go-to karaoke song?
Wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair.
Good. I'm not going to ask you to
Sandy
sing
Tom. No, I can sing it if you like. I love it.
Now, that would be entertaining breakfast TV. Favourite sporting code and team?
Well, mate, the Rabbits, and rugby league. I love my Rabbits. I've been following them since about probably 1962, and I continue to do that, and they're going well this year too.
They are indeed. I think they're into the next week of the finals coming
They
up.
are. They flogged Newcastle. Didn't look good for the first 10 minutes, but we've got Parramatta this week, and I enjoy South Sydney.
Okay, well, look, fingers crossed for all the South supporters this morning. Look, we talked about major events and that you're proud of, and I guess they're important to the region. One of the other events that the region is known for, it's probably the most synonymous event for the Central West, is the Bathurst 1000. Now, that's kicking off shortly, but this year things have had to be done a little bit differently. Can you tell us about the 1000, why it's so important to the region, and what people can expect this year?
Well, it's so important to the region. It brings over $25 million in the local region over that week of Mount Panorama being here. Just not for Bathurst, but to Orange, to Dubbo, from Lithgow. The region is going to really miss out this year on that input of funds that come through, and it's important that we continue the race. We'll only have a small crowd, but I expect people still to come and visit Bathurst, because they're visiting it all through the region here now. There's no stopping you coming in because you can't go to the races. Like we got hidden gems, and you go to Hill End, or you could go to Safala. You could have a look at the region here. But Mount Panorama is very important to Bathurst. Just the economy of it.
Yeah, and I know it's got a massive TV viewership each year for the 1000. I can't remember what the numbers were. Do you know?
Oh, look, 25 million people will see it just overseas. Yep. That's just overseas, without people here in Australia viewing it. It's one of the it's an iconic event. It's an Australian event. It's up there with the Holden cars and the kangaroos, I reckon. Mount Panorama is iconic in the racing industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I reckon another one of the hidden gems for Bathurst and the region is the Motor Museum there next to the track. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm not a big rev head, but the amount of awesome cars and the history on display there at the museum is unbelievable.
There's great displays up there, and look, you can see nearly any car back from the early 1900s. You'll see them up in there. You'll see a replica, or you'll see a Colin Bond car, or you'll see a Peter Brock car, or you see an Alan Moffat car. They're there, and you can see them and touch them nearly. And very good museum, good for Bathurst, and on Mount Panorama itself.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put the link up to the museum after this morning's chat, so next time you're coming to the region or you've got visitors, you can pencil that one in as a must do. Now, just following on from Mount Panorama, I know there's been money contributed from all levels of government for the second racetrack up there. I know it's been a project that's been on the bubbling along for a couple of years, but can you give our viewers a bit of an update of where that's up to?
Well, we're up there. We've got funding off federal and the state government, which has been good. We've got a track design. We're still having a few hiccups with land purchases up there, and that's not too far off, but that'll be a great asset for Bathurst and the region, because it can operate over 365 days a year. And you know, the motorsport industry are looking for places like Bathurst to have this second track so they can test their cars, instead of, you know, because places like Oran Park and that in Sydney are closing down, and you know, so this is a great opportunity for Bathurst to get on the piggyback a little bit more off Mount Panorama, and having two tracks can even be, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring new skills and I guess new potential, you know, industry and jobs to the region.
Yeah, having TAFE and the college there, and a new iTech park going, you know, not too far from Mount Panorama, great opportunity there to do everything in one centre.
Yeah, absolutely. Another sector that's been doing it tough, I guess, as a result of COVID, has been a lot of the sporting groups, sporting associations. I believe Council just announced about $20,000 worth of grants and support for the sporting association grants in the region. Can you tell us about that, and why are sporting codes and clubs so important for the community?
Well, sporting clubs and that, to me, are just like historical assets that we own. We own the sporting memories and the people that played in them, and you've got to continue that family sort of group. You know, as a group, you are. What am I trying to think?
It brings people together.
It brings people together, and council, through this COVID-19, we're trying to look after them sporting groups. We're not charging them fees. We're still watering their grounds, and we're still giving them money to sanitisers, and you know, so they continue on to be, because there's nothing better to have your home team beat Orange or Dubbo, or you know, it's that rivalry, and you've got to keep that going, because that's a part of you is your sport in Bathurst.
Yeah, I guess it builds community pride as well.
Oh yeah, I love Bathurst. I any sporting team, I follow them all in Bathurst. There's a whole lot of them. You know, I'll go to their presentations. I'll go and see their games. Even though I'm a rugby league fan, I just love them because they're representing Bathurst.
Yeah, look, I think it's a good point. I've played a lot of community country sport myself, and I know for me, it was brought different people from different walks of life together. And it didn't matter, you know, what had happened previously when you ran out together on a Saturday arvo to play footy. Everyone was there doing the same thing, and I thought it's really important.
Yeah, when I was at school playing Ashley Cup, you know, it was a great competition between Dubbo and Orange. The rivalry there really fires you up in your later life when you got to meet them in a rugby game or another rugby league game. You just want to beat them all the time.
But it also fosters, I guess, those important friendships. Around the region as well, which I think is important. Now, there's been plenty of big projects announced locally around Bathurst over recent weeks. We had the centre, the Bathurst Cybersecurity Centre. We talked about the fish announcement, but there's also been money for the local pound. There's been all sorts of money announced. But why are those local infrastructure projects so important right now for local jobs?
Well, it's very important now, especially through COVID-19. We've got to stimulate the community. And look, one of the jobs as mayor is working with the state and federal government. They have got a lot more money than a local council. And you meet with them on a regular basis to inject money into this region, because if Bathurst is thriving, then Orange will get better, and then Dubbo will get better, and then it's a great place. Regional New South Wales should be up there like Wollongong and Newcastle are.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, September, we've just gone past through September. It was going to be local government election time. Now, they've been pushed back 12 months. You've had a long history, I guess, in local government. Why would you encourage local community members to think about putting their hat in the ring in local government, and why is it a rewarding, opportunity?
Yeah, look, if you're a part of that community and you want to get things done quicker, well, you need to be a councillor so we hear you on a regular basis. So instead of whinging just through the newspaper or the local radio, put your hand up, like I did. I put my hand up or shut up. So I got in here, let's do what I can do. And you can do it. If you've got the tenacity to just go do one thing you haven't done differently, and being a council's different, I can tell you.
What do you think has been the biggest change that you've seen in and around Bathurst over the, say, 15 or 16 years you've been in council?
Look, the biggest change is there's more people coming here and more infrastructure being built. With stormwater harvesting going on now, and pipelines and roadworks. You go out to the airport here now, upgrades to the airport. We are continuously each year doing something different for that input of people that want to get out to regional New South Wales.
Where can you see Bathurst going over the next 5 to 10 years?
I can see Bathurst being, I like to see Bathurst be more trying to get traffic in and out of our CBD. Could be a lot better, and we need a new bridge over the river. Okay. It's long overdue, so my next 5 years or more on the council will be to make sure we've got that infrastructure that meets our needs to the growing population that is moving further out.
We've had a lot of people contacting, I guess, RDA Central West, probably the council as well, looking to make the move into regional New South Wales, make the move to the Central West. Why would it be a good time, in your opinion, to look at Bathurst or make an investment in the region?
Do it now while you're trying to get out of Sydney now. People are trying to get out of that suburban area down there. Get out, have a look what's out here. It's a lot better. I encourage people to come this way, have a look around, continue on, and like I said, make this one of the regions like Newcastle and Wollongong and that are. Make this a really strong regional area where you can relax a little bit more than that push and shove that you have in like around Sydney.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have such a fantastic array, I guess, of events here, opportunities here, and we've touched on some of the great, I guess, career opportunities with new projects and new infrastructure being built. But we really appreciate your time this morning. What's the easiest way for community members that want to engage with you or the council to get in touch?
Well, look, I'm in the paper every day. If you don't know who Bobby Bourke is, I'm out there, and my door is always open here in council. You've just got to give me a call, or the staff here at council will call, and I'm ready at any time to go with any issues they've got.
Fantastic. Well, look, Mayor, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. I hope that's given everyone a nice little insight into, I guess, some of the history of some of the projects and priorities of Bobby Bourke as Mayor and of the Regional Council. But until next time, we hope you have a fantastic day and a great weekend. And we will catch you same time next week. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sam.